Hi, and welcome to today's episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View, Less Than 5-Minute Leadership Takes. I'm Luke Fry, and I own the First Image First franchise. We started that in the Cincinnati area in 1998, and 20 years later, we successfully sold it to a private equity firm that had also purchased the franchisor. Now, during that 20 years, I was also able to be a part-time and volunteer firefighter and eventually the fire chief for Terrace Park Fire Department. So these leadership takes are kind of a mix between the experiences I learned as a business owner, as well as the leadership experiences I learned as a fire organization. The leaders need the same type of attributes to be successful. And today I'm going to share a story with you from a colleague of mine, Chief Brock's Robinwood. And she was chief of a department near us. And she told me about a night she had training with a neighboring department. So her and her crew drove off on this Monday night. And it was a few weeks before Christmas. So the town they drove through had a lot of small shops, a lot of Christmas shoppers, and a lot of cars on this Monday evening. So they're at the training. And since they're only a couple of miles from their station, they just remained in service in case there was an emergency run. And there happened to be, after a few minutes of the training starting, Chief Robinwood was alerted that there was a non-breather in her jurisdiction, and it was policy for the fire department to respond with medics on those runs to help with the resources necessary during those hectic times. So Chief Robinwood, she let the county know that, hey, we're en route and we'll be there. And she looked at the driver and said, be very careful going through town. So Chief gets in her car and takes off on the less than 3-mile jaunt. And the engine follows behind her, and the driver took heed and driving very cautiously, even though the lights and sirens were going. He realized that it was crowded and he couldn't hurry this run. What he didn't know, and he had absolutely no way of knowing, was that one of the 200-foot sections of hose that's attached to the engine had come undone and was flailing about behind the engine, and the nozzle was bouncing like a ping pong ball off of cars and the small storefronts, and thankfully nobody was hurt. Only damage was done. There was no physical damage. Well, Chief Robinwood heard about this from a police officer while she was on the medication with the driver and everybody in the engine right there while it was fresh in everybody's mind. So she got their stories. And later, she was questioned by the police officers, and they also asked for her statement, by the insurance companies, and they also asked for a statement, and by her village manager, which also asked for a statement. And indulge me for a second, because I still have an excerpt from her statement, and this is word for word, so I am going to read it. But this is a beautiful lesson in how leaders protect their tribe. And I'm quoting, "Firefighters asked me to try a new hose load for the speed of getting it off the engine at a fire. I encouraged their experiment. However, I failed in not following up to ensure the hose load was safe. No one in the enclosed cab could hear the nozzle bouncing off the cars. The siren drowned out the noise. There's no indicator light like there is for equipment doors left open. The driver drove with due regard for the circumstances as he knew them at the time. The fault is mine." Chief Robinwood never would, no matter how many times I asked, never would tell me what the consequences to her were. All that mattered to Chief Robinwood was that she protected her crews from the outside noise, and no one received any consequences or reprimand. Thank you for watching this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. And if you like what you saw, let me know in the comments. If you have a constructive critique, let me know that also. I appreciate both. Check back again with us and subscribe so that you are alerted the next episode. And as always, stay safe and win every day.